Hi everyone, and you're welcome back. Today we're making this yummy, tasty, spicy and amazing salami that I always make at home. We store it up in the fridge for breakfast, lunch or dinner. It's perfect for any kind of dish, and I hope that you enjoy making it as I enjoy making them all the time. So to start off, you would chop up some garlic, some onions, some peppers, scotch bonnet peppers, but you can also add in some capsicum, which is the green bell pepper or any kind of bell pepper that you have. But I like a lot of heat in anything protein, so I usually go in with a lot of scotch bonnet peppers. As much as possible, try to chop up your vegetables and your spices finely, because you don't want to be biting through large chunks of vegetables when you're eating your salami. After chopping it up, I will melt in some butter and add in my veggies. I do this because I want all the veggies and the spices to release all its aromas so that it can give it a nice flavor and taste. Mostly people do not fry or roast their veggies or their spices. They just add it in fresh. But I want some extra flavor, and so that's why I take that extra step by making sure that I roast it in some butter or some oil, which is just fine, just as fine as, So I add in 1 star anise, some bay leaves, some coriander, some rosemary, and some thyme. And then later I also added in some parsley flakes, dried parsley flakes, which I'm doing now. And then I roast it slowly on very slow fire to release all the aromatics. I added in some black pepper and some nutmeg later because I didn't want to kill the aroma. And so I added it in when I was just about to take it off the fire. So my chicken is prepped. This is a full chicken. So this was the breasts, the thighs, the drumsticks, all the fleshy part of the chicken. And then I blended it. I used a blender this time, but you can use a food processor. It's perfectly fine. So I season it with some salt, some white pepper, some black pepper, some nutmeg, and some salt. You mash it all, mash or mix it all together, either ways together. Make sure that every bit of the chicken gets every bit of the seasoning, because as I always say, it is the carcass of an animal, so make sure that it is full of flavor. I take out all the large seasoning or spices, so I take out the anise seeds, the bay leaves, or anything that is too big to keep in the salami. At this point, I'm using my spatula because it's so hot, so I'm trying to let the temperature go down a bit, and then I will go in with my hand. At this point, the temperature has gone down, so I'll just knead everything together. And at this point, I thought it needed some more salt. Always season it to your personal tolerance, but this was just perfect for me. I added in a bit more of the black pepper and the salt. After kneading it for some time, I really wanted to leave it to rest, but I didn't have time because it was so late at night. But you can leave it to rest for about 30 minutes. I think it helps in a way, makes it much more tender, but I didn't have the time. So you put it on a parchment paper. You can grease it, but I don't recommend that because there's already fat in the chicken because of the fats that we used to fry the aromatics. At this point, you should mold the chicken into the shape that you want, but preferably it will be in a rectangular or cylindrical form, in any way that would make it easy for you to cut when you're ready to eat. So as much as possible, I try to mold it perfectly by using the parchment paper to press it together gradually. As you can see, I do it gradually. Make sure that it's fine so that there are no holes in it. So you take your time and then you fold it over. Make sure that it's compact. Very important. Make sure it's compact. As long as it's compact, you are rest assured that everything is together and there are no holes, or it's not going to separate easily, right? So just do that. My parchment paper was very small at this point. I would have just used just the parchment paper, but I went in with some aluminium foil just to kind of hold the ends properly. But if your parchment paper does a great job, by all means, please use just that. I'm only using the aluminium foil because my parchment paper is small. So you wrap it up and make sure that everything is compact again. Make sure that there's no spillage, there's nothing falling anywhere. Make sure that everything is together. At this point, my oven is being heated. I usually go with medium high heat just to kind of warm the oven at this point. And then I put it back in the oven. I put it in the oven and then I give it the lowest of fire for about an hour and 40 minutes. It really depends on the quantity of your chicken anyway. So after an hour and 40 minutes, I take it out and all the juices are in the aluminium foil, and that's a clear indication that it's perfectly done. The aroma is just amazing. The kitchen smells so wonderful. You can use these juices to cook, make anything that you want, because it's just it's broth that came out of the salami, and so you can always use it to cook. Now when I cut through it, just look at how beautiful it looks. Let's just even start from there with all the flavors, the colors of the vegetables, the spices and everything. I think it looks beautiful when you look at it, and when you cut through it, it's firm. It's so hot because I couldn't wait for it to cool down completely, but it was really hot and I had to really go to bed at this point. But when you cut through it, you can see it's firm, it cuts through easily and in perfect slices, and it's just ideal for breakfast dishes and dinner, lunch, a wrap, anything. It's just so tasty, and you should certainly try it and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching.